All right, we are off to a great start on this Friday here at the NBA Tip-Off Show. We got ourselves 6 games here, none of which any of us can agree upon. So this should be a very, very fun show here today. We are going to do it, of course, with 3 of the best at WagerTalk.com. When it comes to the NBA, these 3 guys are who you want to talk with. As Skee Prophet in the house, RC, Mr. Ronald Kabang, ready to roll, as is Teddy Covers here, gentlemen, and listen, trade deadline is come and gone, so no more of that crap. Now we got a loaded slate here coming up over the weekend. The All-Star game will be next, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. In the meantime, we got a few teams to rip apart here and hear from the contrarian gods, because let's see, of all the games on the board, who are the contrarian gods? Oh, yeah, the Lakers. That's right. The Lakers getting 2.5 right now, simply because, let's be honest, who in the hell is betting the Lakers today? The answer is nobody. Or maybe Skee Prophet is here, since the entire world loves Zion if he's going to play, and New Orleans here. What are you thinking here, Skee? How did the Lakers do last night? I'm not sure. Maybe that has something to do with it. But what do you think here about the Lakers tonight in a bounce back spot at home?
I am going nowhere near the Lakers, along with everybody else. I could care less if it's contrarian or not. I don't care who's betting it. I will not be on the Lakers. The Lakers are 1-7 so far against the spread on a back-to-back. They looked absolutely, well, I don't want to lump them all together. Majority of them, or a good amount of them, look absolutely pathetic last night. And I just don't feel like that's a team that I can trust at this moment. You listen to them talk, it doesn't sound like they have a whole lot of faith in themselves. So until they figure it out and give me a reason to look their way, I would only look towards the Pelicans. And I'd probably think it starts early. Pelicans have been really good. I think they've covered 9 of 11. I could be wrong, but they've been really good in the first half against the spread. I think it's early and often for this Pelicans team. Absolutely no way will I even consider pushing confirm on the Lakers.
So, Skee, let me just see if I get this straight. I don't want to, impose but it sounds like the Lakers are now in the, oh, hell no, am I betting it? Are they in that category now, Skee?
If there's like a list, maybe like even worse, like you could put them underneath right there. That's where the Lakers are at right now. I will not be looking for the Lakers anytime soon.
Just want to let the audience know here that behind the scenes off air, we had a little side bet that the Lakers would now be in Skee's "oh hell no" list here, and they actually did better, one better than that, because they're on the list beyond that, which is how bad it is. RC, come on, my man, is there any helping the Lakers here? I mean, listen, it was the Kobe dedicate. Everything was right for them. They got to make it right tonight, right?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was on the other side, so I was on the right side. I had the Nuggets. They did well for me yesterday, but I can, just like Skee Man, like they got to do something to prove that they're actually playing to win these games. I don't know, man. Look, if you look at the Pelicans side, right? They've been playing well, right? They won and covered four of their last 5. They did play a couple of scrubs, but they also beat the Clippers outright. They also stayed close with the Celtics in Boston as well. They've been traveling a little bit. Maybe that could be something that the Lakers could take advantage of. They're also on the first leg of back-to-back games, so not a great spot for the Pelicans. But you look at the Lakers side, how they've been playing, obviously an emotional loss yesterday. That could weigh on them. Second leg of back-to-back games. Skee mentioned it, and I looked at this too. 1-7 ATS on the second leg of back-to-back games for this Lakers team. I don't know if AD or LeBron's going to play today, as far as the injury report goes, but we know that they struggle in these second leg of back-to-back games. The average full game margin in these games is minus 9.7. So, we talked about it before the show. It was what they opened up as favorites. Now they're 2.5 point dogs. To me, I think the market is going in the right direction. Some of the things that the Lakers do well offensively, the Pelicans are good at defending, right? Points in the paint. I think the Lakers are like top 3, top 4 in points in the paint, but the Pelicans are top 10 in defending it. If you look at transition points, fast break points, that's where the Lakers do well. The Pelicans are 5th in limiting opponents' fast break points. So there's just a lot of things that counter what the Lakers can do offensively. So to me, I can only look towards the Pelicans, or even just focus on the Lakers team total under maybe.
Teddy, gotta help me out here. I listen. I don't make me turn the calendar back. We'll go to, I believe it was December 31st, maybe in season tournament, and the Lakers were on the hell no list for Skee at that particular point, and they took on New Orleans in your neck of the woods, Teddy. And it didn't work all that well for New Orleans there. Can we get a little bit of that tonight, you think?
Well, the New Orleans in revenge. No, they already had their revenge. They got down 50 to beat the Lakers by 20. As would be no surprise to this bettor if they do again this evening. I am not favoring the contrarian gods tonight. Here's the quote from Willie Green. Don't underestimate how big that win against the Clippers was right here at the Staples Center. New Orleans has been in LA longer than the Lakers have. The Willie Green quote after that game, quote, "I like the fact we were aggressive, we're physical, we contested all their shots, we finished possessions. I told the team this was a true character win against a worthy opponent." This is a Pelicans team, and Ronald mentioned it. They've won 4 in a row. They're starting to roll right now. Both guys mentioned LA's struggles on the second of back-to-backs. It's worth noting there was always one and something. The one came in October on their very first set of back-to-backs all season. Ever since then, it's been loss. Although they did get a 3-point win non-covering against the Spurs, so I guess they do have one since then. But what they have, 4 of their 5 starters played 35-plus minutes last night. They've been bad on the second of back-to-backs. Their opponent is rolling. If I'm playing, I'm laying.
Yeah, Lakers. Seen better days. We got to come up with a name of that new list, by the way. You guys in the chat room, help us out. We've moved on from hell no. All 3 of these guys are going, oh, hell no. Oh, what do you got? Roll it.
No, I just I don't think I can say it on the program.
It's all right. The chat can. You guys do you do your thing, Jack. Come up with a name for that new list we're putting together. And apparently the Lakers are going to be the very first team on that list. But we do have actually a game of some interest a little bit later here tonight involving that team that took it to the Lakers last night. How about the champs, the Nuggets, on the road against the Sacramento Kings that, well, if I remember correctly, got absolutely smoked at home against Detroit a couple of nights ago. In their defense, though, Skee, it was that first game off of the, 7-month road trip, all of that. It wasn't a great spot, but still, it was Detroit, and this is the champs. So I don't know. You got any comfort level with Denver on the second of a back-to-back? What do the numbers tell us?
Well, I would be looking a little bit more towards the Denver side for a few reasons. One, yes, it's a back-to-back. I don't think it's not that far from Sacramento to Los Angeles. And also, before that game yesterday, they had 3 days off. And you look after this game, they have, I believe, 2 days off. So they're rested, and they can go all out in this game because they know they'll be able to rest afterwards. For the Kings, they haven't been playing good basketball. You mentioned that Pistons game. I was on the Pistons, I believe, there. And Kings have only covered 2 of their last 6. They're bottom 10 defensive rated team their last 5 games. And why would I be laying with them anything if they can't get any stops? That's how I feel. So they're not getting any stops. They're not playing good basketball. It's a one-way ticket for me. Denver or stay out the way.
All right, looking at the champs in this one. RC, are you in agreement here? Are you leaning towards Denver in this matchup tonight?
Yeah, from a side perspective, this game was pretty hard for me to break down. I know, obviously the Nuggets coming off of that win yesterday. They've really, reason why I kind of like the total more than the side here, it's a little bit more clear how both of these teams are playing. I think, the Nuggets, they've been a strong under team lately. They stayed under in 9 of their last 10 games, I believe. They haven't been scoring efficiently, but they also haven't been giving up a ton of points as well. If we look at last 10 games, their pace is below 94, if I'm not mistaken. That's actually one of the lowest paces I've seen in a long time in that, sort of a 10-game span. From a total perspective, obviously you look at the Kings, they should be more of an over team. You look at them more of an over team with their pace of play and things like that. They have been going over 4 straight games. But one thing that I've seen so far is, um, you know, in this situation of a long road trip, they were actually in this exact spot against the Nuggets. I think, yeah, the Nuggets before. Kings were rested. Nuggets on the second leg of back-to-back games. They're playing in Sacramento. That same situation happened earlier this year in December. The Kings won that game, 123-117. But the issue is Jamal Murray did not play that game. The Nuggets were playing they weren't playing as a great defense as they are now, and they were playing a faster pace than before. So those things are to look at that game. You can kind of look at that and see what kind of adjustments they made with Jamal Murray in the lineup. And then now that we're deeper into the season, we think about playoffs, and to me, I think this is sort of a playoff atmosphere type game. And when I think of that, I think of methodical pace, more intense defense. And another thing that I looked at with the Kings here, when the books have them with a total that's under 235, they've actually been going under. So these lower totals, the Kings stay under. When the total is under 235 in the last 9 games, they've gone under in 7 of those. So to me, it could be an uncomfortable pace. It's a situation where everyone's like, "Oh, Kings over," but to me, I can only look towards the under.
All right, little vote for the under in this one here for RC. Teddy, how about you? You more inclined to look at the side, the total in this one? Who are you looking at?
So we were talking before we went on air. We all like to have a good time. And heck, I'm hanging out with a couple of guys that make me laugh. So I appreciate that very much. But one of the things we were talking about before we went on air was that Sacramento has been good in their spots this year. And this is absolutely a Sacramento spot. Kings off a loss. I've got them 11-4 ATS their last 15 tries. They're off back-to-back losses here, a bad game in Cleveland, and then an even worse game at home against the Pistons. It's clearly a circle the wagons type of spot. And let's call it what it was. That was a big win for Denver last night. That was a playoff atmosphere. It was rowdy. And I worry about them finding that same level of intensity this evening off a good performance last night. So if I'm playing, I'm laying. This isn't a spot where I want Denver, although this is opinion only. Nothing I'm actually putting my money on.
All right. Well, the spot has been good for Sacramento there, guys. So should be an interesting one tonight out west. We do have, of course, a game we're going to focus on the total as it continues to rise as we speak right now in our overtime segment. And that's going to be with this new look 76ers team taking on the Atlanta Hawks. I am now seeing 247s hit the market here. So people expecting points, Skee. A lot of points. Are you buying it here with the Hawks and the Sixers for an over?
That's absolutely the only way for me to look in this game. Hawks are playing at the fastest pace the last 5 games, second best offensive rated team. Philly, the absolute worst defense in the last 5 games. And we all know the Hawks don't play defense. So should be an up-tempo game. You're getting the additions of Buddy Hield and Cameron Payne, who another shooter and another guard who likes to push pace. So I see no reason, to stray away from an over in this one.
It's kind of hard to look at anywhere but that RC. I get why the market is going, but are we getting to the point now? I mean, this is almost a 7-point move here to the over. Any value looking at the under here?
To me, I could still look towards the over. I mean, Skee brought up good points about the last 5 game stats for the Hawks there. I mean, I saw similar things. The other thing that I was looking at too, I know the Hawks on the first leg of back-to-back games, their stats say 7-2 to the under, but they're actually averaging 125 points per game in that situation still. So it just goes to show where the total should be at, versus, how much points they're putting together. I know the matchup wise between these two teams, all 3 games have gone over. First 2 matchups, the Sixers covered with Embiid in the lineup. Obviously, they played a little bit better defense in that situation. But the last one without Embiid, the Hawks covered. They went over the team total and everything like that. So I think from a matchup perspective, Embiid slows down the pace. Without him, obviously more possessions. Their defense tends to struggle a little bit more also without Embiid clogging the paint there. Um, uh, this is the first leg of back-to-back games without Embiid. There's two other instances this happened earlier in the season. They gave up 127 points to the Rockets and 130 to the Blazers. So to me, this is an instance the Sixers are going to give up a ton of points. I don't trust the Hawks defense. I know they haven't been doing great defensively. I know the Sixers struggling defensively, especially in the last 10 games as well. So I think there's still room for this over, in my opinion.
Still looking for some points to the over here, Teddy. Market is convinced we're getting points in this one. How about you?
Hell no. Philly's offense is as bad as their defense right now. All right. The Sixers, they have, to call them struggling offensively, I don't think is strong enough. All right. They've been 105 or less in this up-tempo, fast-paced NBA in 5 of their last 7 games. All right. They're a team that without Embiid doesn't have the focal point on offense. We don't know if Maxi's going tonight. Maxi's sick. Decent chance he's going to sit. That doesn't help Philly on the offensive side of the court by any stretch of the imagination. And I know Atlanta's an over team. I know that Atlanta isn't playing a defense and it's all pace and all offense. I get it. But it takes 2 to get over 247. And I'm not convinced Philly can get there. So Atlanta team total to over, okay. Not the Sixers and not the full game. We'll come back to this one when it comes to best bets later in the show.
All right, not buying the Sixers offense just yet. That means got to take a look at some of the dogs here tonight, and I'm going to warn those under the age of 18 watching right now. This is some ugly ass dogs that we are going to throw up on the screen here. So I hope your parents get permission to watch this. Robert, throw it up there. Let's see what we got here.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
Oh, it is disgusting. Sixers, Rockets, Hornets, Wizards, Nuggets, and the Lakers. Each one of them disgusting in their own right, Skee, but one of them inevitably is going to be barking here tonight. Do you have a lean one way or the other on this?
Well, I do usually go with the biggest dog, but I guess I'll let somebody else have the biggest dog today. I'll go for the shortest. I'll change it up. I'll go right back to the game we were just talking about. It is a revenge game. Last time they played in December, Kings won by 6 there. And I typed in the specific spot into the database, and this is what it tells me. It says that road dogs who previously won on the road, or I'm sorry, let me repeat this. Unrested road dogs who previously won on the road, and also are a better team, better win percentage. With the 3+ days rest before their last game and 2+ days rest after this game. It's only happened 5 times in the entire database, 1996. And 4-1 straight up and against the spread for the dog. I just think Denver is better. I think the Kings cannot be trusted if it's a King spot or not. I just think it's a part of the season where Denver cares. So I'll roll with the better team versus a team that I do not trust.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Pretty simple there. 2 right now. We're seeing now somewhere along those 2.5s starting to pop up. So, Skee, looking at the champs here. How about you, RC? Who you leaning towards in this one tonight?
Yeah, not a lot of dogs to like, in my opinion, but one that I could see happening, the Hornets, against this Bucks team. I know the Hornets lost 9 in a row now, but they have covered 2 in a row, so maybe they're trending in the right direction. Some things that tell me that the Bucks aren't in the right spot here. They're in the second leg of back-to-back games. They're also double-digit favorites right now. So if you look at them as double-digit favorites this season, they're just 2-11 against the spread. So that makes me feel like they obviously I can't back these guys. If you go against teams under 400, so these lower tier teams, yeah, they're winning these games 15-4 straight up, but 4-15 against the spread in that situation. So for me, I mean, as bad as the Hornets look right now, I mean, I can't trust the Bucks to lay double digits here, especially 14.5. It's not even just normal double digits, not like 10 or 10.5 or whatever. It's 14.5. It just seems like a lot to me. But if I was to see a dog, it would probably be the Hornets for now.
Oh, all right. Looking at the Hornets here. Did not expect that coming. I'm going to tell you that right now here. Teddy, come on, man. Not a ton to choose from here tonight, but one that you might be leaning towards?
Well, I've got a favorite I want to fade,
Ooh.
so I guess that's taking a dog. But the favorite to fade here is Toronto. I mean, they're 3-12 straight up in their last 15 games. They're 2-6 straight up in their last 8 at home. They're 3-8 against the spread, their last 11 tries as favorites, and they're laying points tonight to Houston. And this is a Toronto team again. They were active at the trade deadline. They're not fully. They don't have a full roster tonight, and they're facing a Rockets team that, look, I mean, I know Houston struggled on the highway, but my party number is Houston is the better of these two teams. And tonight, I think they have as the much better of these teams. I think the Rockets win the game. So Rockets as my live dog against a false Raptor favorite.
Ooh, not buying it here from Toronto at home tonight. So there you got it. We got some dogs. We got a couple of the contrarian gods in unison here all tonight. So we've got best bets here left on a small card, 6 games tonight. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, like button if you're joining us here for the first time, as we'll throw 60 seconds on the clock, which should give Skee enough time to figure out which one of these disaster games he is going to give us here tonight. So, Skee, 60 seconds on the clock. Where are you rolling for a best bet here tonight?
I'll get 60 seconds to say whatever I want. So I'll say that I just saw D'Angelo Russell is probable, and that just really irritated and pissed me off that he missed yesterday, and he's probable for today. And that means that the Lakers will probably win tonight. My best bet for the show is going to be Hornets plus 14.5. I believe is the best number you can get. And this one is very simple for me. The Bucks cannot be laying this kind of a number. They've won, or they've covered one of their last 6 games. They're playing very little defense. They went and made a trade for Patrick Beverley to try to help out the perimeter over there, but not sure he's going to play today. I think they're without Lillard as well. I just see no reason how they can be laying this number. So Hornets, as bad as they've been, I think they can hang around. They've been the better defensive rated team. So Hornets plus 14.5 for me.
Gotta tell you, contrarian gods work in mysterious ways, Skee. Did you see that? All of a sudden, just poof, and D'Angelo Russell healthy now. Amazing how that works. RC, what do you got for us here tonight? 60 seconds on the clock. Where are you going for a best bet?
Yeah, I'm looking towards the Raptors and Rockets game. I know that the Rockets are on the third of a 4-game road trip, first leg of back-to-back games, but they're a young team. They're also rested. They haven't played. They had 2 days of rest going into this one. There was a period where they were kind of struggling defensively because of injuries in the road trip, but the last few games here, I see their defense come back alive. They're getting a little bit healthier. They kept 5 of their last 7 opponents under their team total. In that span, that 7-game span, they're 4th in the league in defensive rating. If you look at the Raptors side, they're in a pretty flat spot, sort of a flat spot there. First game home off a 6-game road trip. Also, first leg of back-to-back games. Key opponent tomorrow on deck, the Cavs. Obviously, some of the trade influences has chemistry issues probably be off in this one too. I looked at how they did on the first game off a long road trip, at least 4 games on the road. They beat the Wizards by 4 points, but they were 8-point favorites. Didn't cover there. Lost by 11 to the Celtics as well. To me, I gotta support the Rockets defense here and fade the Raptors offense. So Raptors team total under 117.5.
Seems like you got a little extra time on that clock there. I'm not sure why, but apparently he got some carte blanche. Teddy, I'm going to assume we don't even put a clock up for you since you already hammered Toronto and backed the Rockets earlier. So go ahead, no clock. What do you got, my man, for a best bet tonight?
I need the clock, otherwise I talk too long. And of course, we have been running good in NBA of late, 78% in the month of February, and up 188 units in the NBA since 2022. We'll see if we're rolling with a pair of selections up and available right now over at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com. I'm going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks minus the points at Philadelphia. And look, without Embiid, Sixers are 4-12 straight up this season, and half of those wins came against bottom feeders. You read the quote right now from Nick Nurse, quote, "We need to get a little more of the firepower back, and then the guys that are there need to be feeling a little bit closer to 100%. I have to say some guys are going out there, and they are semi-sick, pretty sick, not 100%. They're trying. Some of the guys I thought were still coming off illness were trying as hard as they could and just can't go. The gas tank is a little empty. I'm concerned." That, my friends, is a bet against quote. Atlanta.
Ooh. Taking Atlanta. I kind of like I like it here. Taking on the Sixers here tonight. So to recap once again for you guys here, we've got the Raptors team total under 117.5 for RC. Skee says, give me as many points as you want with the Hornets. Who the hell are the Bucks to be laying 2 touchdowns? Not buying it. And the Hawks laying 3. You just heard Teddy tell you here. Not buying the Sixers just yet. And that total continues to climb as we come to you live here on this Friday edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show. So hit that like button if you could. We certainly appreciate it. Become a member and subscriber here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. As you will find, nobody's got more daily and weekly content of all the big games than we do. Previews, matchups, more best bets. Just a couple of clicks away here, guys. And don't forget, we'll be back Monday for should be a holiday, but that's a whole different discussion there. But we will be back on Monday. We've got more NBA to talk about. Certainly hope you'll come back and join us. On behalf of these 3 guys, best of luck with all your plays this weekend. We'll see you again on Monday. Good luck.